Yes, I welcome you all at Molly Log Poultry Farm. Thank you so much for viewing, subscribing and liking my videos. If you are new on this channel, my dear, consider subscribing. Today I've come to share with you this information, but before I share with you this, I would like to thank all my returning viewers, new viewers, new subscribers, those who subscribed some time back. Thank you so much. And if you are new on this channel, please consider subscribing. Today I've come to share with you this, and most so to those who are planning to start and you don't know the system. You are there, but you are still looking for which system which is the best for these lock birds. So if you are a beginner there, please don't use the free range system to raise or to rear your birds, and the bird tray or cage system. Why? I will give you the reasons to why. Because if you are still new in this venture of log poultry, we always face very many challenges, and I want each and everyone who is planning to start, please, the more money should be used to buy feeds. So it does not give sense, or it does not make sense to set your cages and you fail to feed the birds. So I'm going to give you the reasons why I'm encouraging you to not use the bird tray or cage system and the free range system. First of all, the cage system is very expensive compared to the deep-litter system. So I'm encouraging you, please, if you are new in this in this venture of log poultry, please, I encourage you to use deep-litter system. When I talk of deep-litter system, I mean that system whereby we put the litter. When I talk of litter, I mean the beddings on the floor, and you keep your birds in the house or in the you keep your birds in the house, and when they are just on the floor with beddings. That is what we call the deep-litter system. So litter, that is the beddings. You can make what we call flat houses, and you divide your house if you are having a very small space like mine here. So even that partition you've put up, you make a floor and you put the litter. So this method of deep-litter system, it is cheap in the way that you don't spend much money to construct or to put up this floor. For the side of the cage or the buttress cage system, it is very expensive. Those cages are very expensive. You may look at it as if I may think that it is cheap, yet it is not cheap. When you talk of buying the cages alone, it is very expensive. If you want to get the good cages, they are very expensive. So you better use deep-litter system because it is not expensive. Then after moving in this business for a good time and you get some good money there you can resort to cage or battery system. Still, this cage system, we the local poultry farmers, we don't encourage you to put there the parent stock. That is, when I talk of the parent stock, I mean the hens plus the cocks that are going to give you the fertilized eggs, because these cages, they don't give a chance of these cocks to mate with the hens properly. So remember, these cages are made when they are not giving enough space for these birds. when a cock is going to mate with a hen, in most cases it first chases or run after this hen. So in cages there is no space for that. They don't put that space to allow this cock to mate with a hen. So if you are planning to have a parent stock, I don't advise you to use the cage or battery cage system, because it will not give that chance to these cocks to have or to mate the hens. So you end up not getting the good hatchability. The hatchability will be very, very, very low. That's one. Then another thing with these cages, when you talk of the local birds, they need enough space. They need enough space. So with the local birds, remember, these birds, they multiply, they lay eggs, and at the end of that they will hatch those eggs. So you should provide enough space for these birds, the local ones. So if you are going to use cages, that means that you will buy a good number of cages in order to give these birds enough space. So that's one. That's one of the disadvantages of the cages. Then for the case of this depredator system, this depredator system gives a chance to these cocks to mate with the hen. Remember, they move or they stay or they always eat together, they share together, they always move together. Yeah, so they get that chance, and the space is very, very, very comfortable for them. And for the case of the cage system, we don't give a chance of these birds to have enough exercise. We don't put patches in cage system. When I talk of patches, I mean those they're like sticks what we put in the birds for them to rest on. So we don't give them that chance of resting or of doing some exercise. When I talk of exercise, a bird can make exercise by jumping from down to up or by running, moving around, but these cages are small, so those cages do not give a chance to these birds to have enough exercise. Then another thing, in cages you find it difficult to assess or to get to know or to identify the sick birds at the farm, because in most cases they are so congested. That's one, and you do not get access to each and every bird. So you find it difficult to identify the sick birds in cage system. For the case of the depredator, you move around in the poultry house. You can even get a chance of looking at each and every bird, how it looks like. So you find it easy for you to identify the sick birds and the healthy ones. And when I talk of the free range system, people may think that this free range system is cheap, but if you are keeping birds for commercial purpose, let's say you are having 200 birds and you are keeping you want to keep these 200 birds on a free range system, that means that you should have like an acre of land in order to allow these birds to trace, to look, to find the insects and whatever in the soil. They always scratch the ground in order to get those worms, the whatevers. So you must be having a very big land in order to accommodate the number of birds if you want to keep them for commercial purpose or on a large scale. So that's the disadvantage of free range system. And another disadvantage of free range system, there is is the spread of diseases. These birds, they can get diseases from the neighboring farm because they just move freely. And there is also a chance of losing some birds. They can be stolen by those people who are passing by, and they can be eaten easily by the predators, the cat, the wild cats, the wild birds. So you may end up making losses because of the predators. They will get them from their outside. So those are some of the advantages, and there are very many other disadvantages. There are very many other disadvantages of free range system. So I don't encourage you to use this free range system and the cage system if you are planning to start or you are new in this venture of local poultry. And for the case of the filter system, first of all, it is cheap, whereby you just construct your house, you put the floor, you make a good floor, and you pour the liter coffee husks. So you find that it is cheaper than buying the cages. And the birds are cared for. That means that we give them enough food, which is not the case in the free range system. The birds look for their own food, and they end up in free range, they end up becoming malnourished. So they do not get enough food to eat. If you're having an acre of land and you are keeping like 200 birds, that means that the nutrients will be eaten just within a very few days, and the land remains there like as if even if there is grass, these birds can eat that grass and they leave the land bared. So they will end up not getting what to eat in the following days. So you better use deep litter system, because you'll be providing the feeds to these birds, and they will grow at a high, they will grow very fast because they get enough food and water. Then another thing is when you use this deep litter system, you are able to keep a good number of birds on a small place. That means if you have a small place, you can keep a good number of birds. You can construct your house and you make it a flat. You keep the birds down and up. So you find that you'll be having like 300 or 500 birds on a very small plot of land, which is not the case in the other system of free range. So very many birds can be kept on a small piece of land. And with the deep litter system, the farmer finds it easy to identify the sick birds at the farm, because he or she is able to move around the poultry house and monitor those birds. So that's why I'm encouraging you to use a deep litter system when you are keeping local birds. And our birds in deep litter system, they do not get exposed to those other birds which are outside the farm. So there is a limit in a spread of diseases at the farm. Yeah. So my dears, if you are there and you are planning to start, you are new, you are a beginner, you better use the deep litter system. And this deep litter system, we always do the work manually. That means you will learn very many things. You who is keeping these birds, you will learn how we space the feeders, how we space the drinkers, how the different signs and symptoms of different diseases, because you will be involved in each and everything at the farm. For the case of the cage, it is automatic work. We always see they install the water system, what and what. So you find that all the work is automatic. which is not the case in the predator system. So the farmer engage in each and every activity in the predator system. So from there, you get to know each and everything about the birds. You learn the diseases which attack the birds, their signs and symptoms. Then you get to know how each and everything like placing the feeders. There are some people who do not know how to place the feeders in the poultry house. Even how to close the drinkers in the poultry house. So you learn spacing, you learn the different colors of droppings in the house, and there's the signs of different diseases at the farm. So, my dear, who is watching me, and I always tell you, please start with what you have and what you can manage. I've been talking with one of my outgrower, and he has told me that normally what I have seen in this venture of log poultry, you should start with what you have and what you can manage. He took 160 birds. Yeah, they were 160 birds. And right now, yesterday they made 2 months. Yesterday they made 2 months. But as you know, things always change. This time the maize is at a high price. So if you are not steady, you may find that you face the challenge of feeding the birds. So that's why I always tell you, please start with a small number. After learning each and everything, after learning the market, the diseases, whatever, because whichever activity you do at the farm, it's a lesson to you. Lesson gy'oli. And whatever mistake you do at the farm, it's a lesson to you. And the more you practice this thing, the more you become perfect. So you will find that you started with 160 birds, and you have got an experience of managing 500 birds. From 160 to 500 birds, because you have tried to at least to learn some mistakes with the 150, 160 birds. So when you keep in the next batch, when you bring the 500, you will be the superstar, because you know each and everything, how it moves. So that's my piece of advice to you all who are watching me, to those who are planning to start this venture of log poultry. Some people, they do not first think what they are going to do. They just copy. No labori alundira mu cages, but you don't ask yourself why. For the case of these the exotic birds, the so-called layers and the broilers, you can keep them in the cages. It is easy to keep them in the cages, because for them we do not provide them with the cocks. So even if they are in a very small space, they can feel comfortable there, because they will just give you an egg for eating, not for hatching into another chick. So, my dear, you have to put all those things into consideration when you are entering or when you are keeping these birds at your farm. Nenga, don't forget, Log Poultry Farm is found in Busega Chibumbiro, near Costa Stage, and we always have trainings here every Wednesday, and you can also have online trainings using WhatsApp or any other mean. My WhatsApp number is 0787 96 20 70. That is my WhatsApp number. Then Airtel is not on WhatsApp, and it is 0759 49 82 04. That one is my Airtel, and it is not on WhatsApp. So for those people who are abroad, please use MTN, because it's the one which is on WhatsApp, and it is 0787 96 20 70. My dear, those who are in Rock Poultry, I wish you the best. My viewers, thank you so much for viewing. Returning viewers, thank you so much for viewing. New subscribers, thank you so much. Those who subscribed, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Let's meet in the next video.